It hasn't even been that long since beloved delinquent manga Tokyo Revengers entered its controversial final section, the Kanto Manji arc, and ended on a note that many of its fans flat out were not happy with. Whether you were someone that enjoyed the ending and thought the series had been building up to this finale, or you just couldn't comprehend how Ken Wakui could let his once treasured masterpiece fall so low. It comes as a surprise to everyone that for Ken Wakui's next series, instead of going for something entirely different, the man sticks to what he feels he knows best, the supernatural delinquent genre. Astro Royale is the story of Hibaru Yotsurugi, and its beginning chapter takes place on the night of a meteor shower, long predicted to be visible from Earth, as all the news outlets are covering the topic and discussing how to make the most of the occasion by wishing upon a star, as the old saying goes. Hibaru Yotsurugi is the only son of the Yotsurugi family's boss, a crime family with a long reputation in the area of the Kanto region of Japan. Kongo Yotsurugi, Hibaru's father and head of the crime family, was a surprisingly benevolent gang leader. Kongo was deeply respected by the people of Kanto, as he protected them with his fists that Hibaru notes, as a child, seemed to be just as strong as a gun's bullet. Kongo always told Hibaru if he wanted to lead the Yakuza world, not only would he need big, strong muscles, but a chivalrous heart, to be someone who stands up for the weak and brings down the strong. Kongo wasn't all talk either, as he proved he meant every word by living up to his philosophy. His reputation was no lie, and Kongo was also constantly adopting orphans that he would encounter on his travels. Kongo showed no bias either, even taking in children of the enemies he defeated. Eventually, Kongo Yotsurugi built a large empire with his adopted children, expanding the crime family to the public stage, cleaning up its money and gaining a dominant hold over the business economy of the area, forever cementing the Yotsurugi family as an organization that not even the police could touch. This inspired massive loyalty and cooperation amongst all the different factions and adopted children in the family. However, as time passed and Kongo, the family's leader, was on his deathbed, the only thing on most of these once orphaned, left with nothing delinquents is who gets all that power they've amassed. It's obvious that Hibaru, the only real son of the Kongo, is the heir to the Yotsurugi family. But Hibaru is just a child who is known for quote-unquote playing delinquent, collecting protection funds from the local villagers and holding up the whole Yakuza act, despite the family going clean years ago. Of course, Hibaru embodies the philosophies of his father, never actually charging the villagers real money, and overall just being a goofy kid who sees his dad as his role model. And Kongo's final words are leaving the entire family in Hibaru's hands. Hibaru isn't that confident in himself and does not believe his father's words. Hibaru knows he's just a child and would rather leave it up to his best friend and another one of the adopted children, Tarasu, who he feels is more mature and able to guide the gang in a good direction. A lot of these characters look fresh out of Tokyo Revengers. Some of them are genuine reskins of previous characters. It's not out of the ordinary for a mangaka to have their own unique art style that can be told at a glance. You've got people like Akira Toriyama, Hirohiko Araki. When you look at Chrono Trigger and Dragon Ball, you can see those similarities immediately. It's undeniable. But here's the one difference and my one criticism here. While Akira Toriyama does capture a style that carries over into whatever medium he's designing, I would never confuse any of his characters as to what series they're from. Chrono Trigger Gang is very uniquely designed and has their own quirks and traits that shine through, also reflecting their environment and the story that they're from. Dragon Ball, I would say, is similar, with Goku, Bulma, and Yamcha all being products of their different world and representing something entirely different from Chrono Trigger that you can tell right away. Ken Wakui literally just seems to only have 4 character designs that he completely reuses. If you told me that this was a sequel for some alternative timeline where Mikey didn't have the dark influence and decided to become a hero for justice in a supernatural battle royale, I would probably believe you. Hey, there's Smiley. Is that Izana? Lots of cameos here, cool. Listen, I'm by no means an artist. I think Ken Wakui does amazing work and is a much more capable artist than most people in my honest opinion. What I am criticizing though is the character design and the level of creativity that went behind it. In my heart of hearts, It really just seems like bro didn't think more than a second about any of these guys and just drew what he felt comfortable drawing. This is something that could get better over time, of course, and by no means is a fatal flaw. As the story progresses and characters develop their own personalities, becoming entirely new people from who they resemble, they may separate entirely from Tokyo Revengers. It's one chapter, and I'm a cynical fuck, so please keep this in mind. Overall, everything that I just talked about, all the story and dynamics of the family and cooperation, yeah, just toss that in the garbage, forget about it. Why? Because that meteor shower I talked about from earlier, yeah, that crash lands right into Earth and causes an apocalypse scenario almost immediately. In the middle of Hibaru making his wish, Hibaru wonders just about how many other people are probably making a wish at this exact time. Hibaru declares his desire to be the strongest Yakuza of all time. But suddenly, that moment of childish serenity and peace ends as meteors start shooting directly into the ground and causing massive explosions. Hibaru watches his adopted brother, Tarasu, get crushed by a building in the storm of debris. At that same time, Hibaru is pulled into what seems to be a wormhole in space, as a voice declares, after wishing upon the star and using the pendant his father gave him, everything has aligned to answer Hibaru's wish. The voice calls Hibaru Astro, before Hibaru wakes up and realizes the gravity of the situation he's in. One quick sidebar here, before the story continued, a story note I thought would have been super cool is just how much turmoil the family would have been in now that the new boss is dead. Hibaru lost his chance at heir, and now the remaining family members are just gonna fight for supremacy. Although this doesn't exactly happen the way I imagined it, seems like with this new apocalyptic world setting, conflict is assured to happen in the Yotsurugi family. Hibaru awakens to an insanely powerful supernatural ability, the strength to imbue his fist with the force of a gun bullet, just as Hibaru always imagined his dad did all those years ago. And as Kongo, the spirit of Hibaru's lost father cheers his son on and gives him the courage to push forward. Hibaru uses his new powers, being able to rocket launch that debris to the stratosphere and save his adopted brother. It seems that, from here, the story is going to go in the direction of one big battle royale. With the world drastically changing, the final pages show Hibaru wasn't the only human to awaken these astral abilities. There are plenty of civilians that are awakening to random powers. Some seem simple enough, but others appear to be quite scary and clearly only meant to sow chaos. Without a doubt, not only will the entire world as we know it change after this, the Yotsurugi family has no more need to stick to its squeaky clean image. And while everyone previously made fun of Hibaru for thinking the days of the Yakuza weren't over, seeing that most, if not all, of the other adopted children in the Yotsurugi family also awakened to powers, and just seeing how none of them were happy with Hibaru and Tarasu's decision to lead the family together, all previous bets are off. I can definitely say that a battle royale setting was the last thing anyone was expecting from Ken Wakui. When people heard he was making a supernatural delinquent manga again, people feared the worst. That it was going to be Tokyo Revengers 2, or it was actually a chance for Ken Wakui to redeem himself. Regardless of how you felt about Tokyo Revengers, regardless of any of my current criticism, with Ken Wakui being willing to explore something as open-ended as an apocalyptic battle royale for supremacy, this was the most any of us could have hoped for. Astro Royale is clearly going a different direction than anyone would have envisioned. Long gone are the days of 13-year-olds somehow growing to the size of 30-year-old MMA bodybuilders and just killing each other 10 times over, somehow getting away with all of it. Now, at the very least, the world is messed up and there's no way crime can be accounted for right now, and with all the kids that are fighting, at least they got supernatural powers behind them just to make it make sense. All jokes aside, Astro Royale, because of its willingness to subvert everyone's expectations off the jump, makes me think Ken Wakui might be not only redeeming himself, but creating something everyone will be able to appreciate as its own medium. If you like Tokyo Revengers at any point, you know Ken Wakui knows how to engage his audience and create fun scenarios and characters. So let's all just wait and see if Astro Royale is going to keep carving its path separate from the previous story. If Ken Wakui continues innovating and taking things in this 180-degree direction, we might just have something special on our hands. But it's way too early to tell now. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys thought about the first chapter or the future chapters as you're watching this. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to see other anime and manga videos like this. I appreciate you guys making it all the way to the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.